Versus organisational perception of prison outsourcing in Ireland. This presentation will detail the concept of outsourcing labour to prisons, the potential benefits and drawbacks, and the feasibility of using prison labour within the Irish prison service. We will also review the current practices of prison labour outsourcing in the UK and USA. We'll be looking at the practicalities and challenges of its introduction into Ireland. There are many proposed benefits of prison labour. Our research demonstrates that prison industry employment programmes have found inmate participation is associated with lower reincarceration rates, higher rates of employment in halfway houses, and higher wages after release compared to inmates who are not in these programmes. Other benefits include rehabilitation, training and experience, increased self-esteem, earning ability, and savings to taxpayer money. These outweigh the negatives, which include inmates subject to exploitation, slave labour, and working conditions. The British Government have a new scheme aiming to boost the number of employed offenders behind bars from 10,000 to 20,000 by 2020. To this point, the British Government has seen such a benefit in prison outsourcing that they've tasked the enticing of businesses to an enterprise company called 131 Solutions. Our research has found through a survey from the Ministry of Justice that 3/4 of prisoners who fail to find jobs and accommodation are reconvicted within a year. This compared to only 2/5 of those who manage to land a job and somewhere to live. Prison labour has been in existence in the United States post-World War II. The Federal Prisons Industry, FBI, also known as Unicor, teaches inmates how to work. In 2008, Unicor employed over 21,000 inmates, 17% of eligible inmates held in federal prisons. According to the FBI, given that 95% of US inmates would be released one day, and that 70% of released inmates become repeat offenders, any intervention that can help released inmates re-enter society successfully must have positive impacts on the individuals, their families and the community. The Irish Prison Service does not currently provide labour outsourcing to private enterprise. However, it does provide a wide range of material and products to charitable organisations such as Temple Street Hospital, Bernardo's and Hope. The prison puts a strong emphasis on the provision of vocational training activities for prisoners. Training activities are chosen to give as much employment as possible in prison and to give opportunities to acquire skills that help secure employment on release. These include computers, printing, woodwork, metalwork, craft and horticulture. In excess of 900 prisoners participate in work training activities daily, according to the Irish Prison Service.
Thanks, Deirdre. The research approach we adopted was to ensure all interviews were conducted with owners of small to medium-sized companies. We used a qualitative approach through carefully constructed questions, which were put to our participants to gather a feel for their attitudes around prison labour outsourcing. These interviews were conducted with minimal interaction to ensure interviewees were not unduly influenced. The researchers asked potential employers who use outsourcing what their opinion is regarding prison labour. In conclusion, the results of our research are twofold. The researchers' intentions were to seek the analysis of prison outsourcing from a customer's perspective and also from companies which currently outsource their business needs or may have future intentions of doing so. The questions posed during interviews combined the two perspectives of customer and business owner. This gave the researchers an insight into the thought process of business owners when it comes to outsourcing. As demonstrated through the interviews conducted with customers, there is a clear lack of knowledge relating to the use of prison outsourcing being implemented throughout the world. The quality of the items being purchased is of most concern to them. From a customer's perspective, all of those interviewed cared somewhat about the origins of the products. Half of our research group felt that prison labour would take jobs away from law-abiding citizens. Transparency was an issue for all, stating that customers should be made aware of prison labour. Contrary to the interviews conducted with customers, the business owners interviewed who currently utilise or intend to utilise outsourcing in the future. Once prison outsourcing was brought to their attention, they embraced the notion. Their fear is the company's reputation is at stake, where customer-facing roles may be provided, further acknowledging that trust throughout the manufacturing process is imperative. From the research conducted, we can see that there is an appetite for prison outsourcing in Ireland, be it in a restricted manner. In general, the perception of prison outsourcing is positive so long as interaction with prisoners is kept to a minimum and ultimately high-quality products are produced. Having a good legal framework in place would set a good foundation and decrease the need for secrecy around this topic. Therefore, prison outsourcing definitely has a part to play in the manufacture and outsourcing of products.